What up, world? How y'all doing today? Welcome to the I'm Okay podcast, where today I'm actually feeling just okay for the first time in a long time. I'm sorry to say that, but it's true to the show. Sam, how you doing today, buddy?
Good. How are you?
Doing okay.
Yep.
Now, before we jump into our segment about more relationship details, I wanted to pass the baton over to Sam with a random question I had thought about. Now, we talked about this a couple days ago, but I want you to tell the viewers one reason, if not more, that you should skydive.
All right. So yeah, we were out and about, and we just rambled on about this topic. Yeah, it came up, and because one kind of fun. It's kind of funny, ironic, but it is true. Is then you could be like the Tim McGraw song. I went skydiving, Rocky Mountain climbing, went 2.7 seconds or whatever on the bold name Fu Manchu, but
Uh-huh.
and So I mean that could be one. No, but and also I mean just like if you really want to thrill, or it's been something kind of even that like I would love to do. It's a risk definitely, but you get a pretty sight and a view. Usually you're with somebody the first time or so too. I mean that could even lead you into like bungee jumping and stuff too, maybe as a thought. But like it's just a way to, if you're a thrill seeker, if you're wanting to be, you have, I don't know, some money to spare and spend, or if you want to do something exciting or thought, it might be something to go out and do, you know?
And I say on my side,
Yeah.
maybe you want to stick around this life a little longer. But that's okay, because it's not a guarantee that you won't make it. In fact, most people tend to make it. But that's just my angle on this one. I'm not saying I'm right, but I'm not saying that I'm not right. So,
Yeah.
all right, enough of that. Let's get to the real
Yeah.
topics at hand. Okay, so how today's episode is gonna work is mostly I'm gonna ask some questions to Sam. Sam's our knowledgeable associate, and by associate I mean co-host. And I'm gonna ask him some questions. I might chime in or out, but Sam's gonna be running the show mostly today. I'm just the question guy. So let's go ahead and run through some things. First topic is date ideas. What kind of ideas you got for these daters out there?
All right, sure. Yeah. So, just even an insight into my life of what I'm doing in my relationship with my girlfriend now of like a month and a half or so, going strong good with that. But, like we've done, it was actually our first one. I have it over in my apartment here. I'd show you guys sometime maybe if you want. But is a terrarium, plants, and we did little like succulents and rocks, and got to put the dirt in this little cute house thing. And it's easy to take care of in the sun, and or spray it with a little bit of water every now and then. But and that was just a cute, fun little date idea.
Yeah.
There's uh definitely maybe like because and that doesn't even and that's another thing I want to mention too right off, because I was just going to rant off some others, which I will do, but is you don't have to spend a lot of money. You don't have to do a lot with your significant other person, as long as you're like, because I mean, at least if you're like me too, my love languages are just like quality time. So even if we're just together and we're doing, and just even on our phones or something, even not always, because it doesn't have to always be doing something. That's something that I'm kind of learning and trying to work on in my mind and self too, is because I do sometimes tend to be avoiding, or I want to always do something. I feel like I'm not. I need to be productive or progressing, but it's okay to be okay and doing nothing and whatever too. That is something you can do. But then also like going out to eat at good fancy restaurants or even fast food restaurants. You could go to the zoo. I love going even to like the aquariums, museums, both art and history. Um, if you've got the time and spare everything too, you could definitely take a. Sometimes I just like to take a drive, but if you're really feeling adventurous, I guess go skydiving. No, right? Go, bungee jumping. Go
There
hiking,
it
caves.
is. The number one dating idea was skydiving.
Yeah. Go. I mean, I've noticed once you get older and everything, of course, too, your body change, whatever. But like, I I like going out and karaokeing, but like going out to bars and stuff, it's just not as much anymore. So being at a homebody or being, play some video games together, play some board games, card games. I literally just recently got for $2 from a garage sale or yard sale, Risk the board game. And then I mean, there are plenty of two-player or even multiple player games that you can play and just have like Catan, for instance. Even we play two-player Catan, and then just have like a just have a neutral. We play as the neutral whenever we need to do a turn like that too.
Mm.
Uh,
I think
or
I think
yeah,
where you're getting at, and what I kind of want to add to this is
sure,
make it something that you're about, and make it something that she's about. And obviously over time that's easier to do, but try, that first date that you're hanging out is usually not a date. It's usually you meet her somewhere or him somewhere, and then try to learn a little bit about the person, just one thing at worst, and then try to throw that into the date. I think that's how you win some bonus points and some huge connections.
absolutely. No, thank you for like concising that down. Make up a word here
I'm
or your conclusion.
I'm a very concise man.
You bring it all in. Yeah, I can rant to talk off make this be a 30-minute episode, but you can make it make
No,
sense.
you give me a good context to even come up with this stuff. I'm nitpicking what I hear from you. So yes, thank you. It works.
Yeah,
We're team. We're team of this.
yeah, perfect. It's good.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let's go to the next topic. And this one's gonna kind of be a 180. Um, but when to call it a relationship? Let's say you're
Yeah.
going through a tough time. You've maybe been dating for, it could be months, could be years. When do you call it a relationship? Like what are the foundations of rules that are being broken here or whatnot that you would say?
So this might even go back to a podcast that we did with the red flags and stuff
Hmm.
too. It would be if or back with the green flags too, is if a green flag starts turning into like a red flag, well that's definitely a sign. I mean, obviously if there's any and also I even want to go with off this seg like what you concised my thing down to and what I was just saying earlier too, is like yes, you want to try and introduce, like, for instance, I'm trying to introduce Magic the card game gathering. That's one of my favorite hobbies and interests to my girlfriend, but she doesn't like it. So I've got to understand that I need to back that off. Otherwise, she may not. I mean, that'd be a little extreme, maybe. But maybe she wouldn't like me as much anymore if
Hmm.
I kept trying to shove that down her throat, you know?
I concur.
But,
That's a great point.
um, so yeah, so don't don't fixate on something that is all you. Don't just be you. Like, be you know what I mean? But, like, don't uh yeah, like I say, be forceful about it or anything like that.
Yeah, so
Um,
I think what you're saying is there's that fine line, and don't be obsessive about anything, unless it's not anything really. There shouldn't. I can't think of anything off the top of my head to be obsessive about.
I, me neither. Yeah, if there's a little, I mean, and again, I'm kind of neutral. I like to try and be in the middle, and I'm on both sides of this sense of like, so it depends on the person. Like for instance, some people might think that my girlfriend and I are clingy. If I describe that like we're or we like doing PDA somewhat, personal displays of affection, but other people
I
might
invented
think that's uncomfortable.
PDA.
Yeah, and of course we're not like making out in public, but we're like holding, or we can like touch each other on the shoulder, or hold, or I can have my arm on her,
Best part of high
and it's
school.
like, yeah, yeah, part of high school.
PDA.
Yeah,
I had to let them know what's
yeah,
going on.
yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Getting off my own tangent. Go
yeah.
continue though, please.
Sure. But I mean, I guess yeah. Just know your limits, know your boundaries. If they're stepping on that, that's definitely if it things just sudden change, or if things change, if things seem fishy or suspicious, or going against the grains, and like in my past actually ex unfortunate relationship of like 8 years, it was even like you said, it can be years, it can be months, it could be weeks, days, but the 8 year one was she was we were all great and good and going. She was helping me cook and clean around the house, and we were doing things, everything as a team. And I get that people have, she had like, 20% days, so I was the 80%. But like, once it started to be that where, and I think we mentioned this and talked about this in the red flags, green flags too. But like, once it was where I would offer her help and I would be like, "Hey, you need to go see this doctor." I would literally lay it out all in front of her, and she wouldn't take it or do it. So I mean, that was when I just had to be like, "All right, this has got to end." Unfortunately, yeah,
Great point that you made there. That I'm glad you said, just because I thought of it. Is like when somebody doesn't help themselves
yeah,
and they're not willing to change themselves in a positive way. Now, granted, there's like little things that you should accept about a person, but if it's a big
oh,
thing that's like detrimental to themselves and the relationship, that's something they should probably look into getting help with to change and improve on. So I'm glad you said that. That's very true.
oh yeah. Um, I mean, yeah. I mean, if they have medication, you can help them. Like, if they get off of it or they try to start, like, I mean, 'cause I get that too. Like, it's definitely the world's hard and it sucks, and there's a lot of people that can be uh liars and cheaters and all that out there. So you just got to watch yourself and be careful. Do take care of yourself, and I mean, let loose a little bit, be able to kind of, because obviously, sure, my girlfriend started out as a stranger and stranger danger, right? But here we are down the road, and it's yeah, it worked out. We're
All
yeah.
right, let's go 180 on this topic now. We're gonna say, in fact, 180 and then some. When should you move in with somebody?
So, um, well, in my personal experience, with this last X of 8 years, took me. I did it in two. I moved in with her in 2019. So we were dating since like 2015 or something. So that's about 4 years because I was still in high school, college, and then my parents' house and living at my own apartment and stuff. And then we were like, okay, yeah. So we moved in, and then we lived together from 2019 to 2022. Um, and uh and so yeah, I think that once you find a foundation and a grounds and you guys are working and you guys are done with school or you're done with like a major task or event and you're able to like communicate and say, hey, yeah, I can match your energy well, I can match your I can help you with bills, I can help you with this and that, then yeah, I'd say move on in. That was the case there for that because we
Mm-hmm.
were young and we were broke and we were whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But we so and that might have also been partially why things didn't work out either. But
Mm-hmm.
like but now that we've grown, or hopefully I wish her well. I'm doing a lot better. So like I'm yeah. So for instance, with the new girl with my girlfriend now of a month and a half, she has a roommate right now too. Of course, 2024, the inflation, the prices, and everything. So she's got rent she splits with her, and but she's about to get a job that's like $50 an hour, doing technology stuff. So she's going to be moving out in the next 2 months. So my plan, or our plan, is that I might move in 4 months into the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that does seem kind of scary and weird and crazy and whatever. But then again, I got to think. One, I'm 20, like 9 now or whatever, so I'm older. I'm more stable. I'm more whatever, everything like this. I also have to think about, like I said earlier there too, the economy and stuff. She can't live alone. She can't afford rent alone. She doesn't. So like that would help. That would work if I brought my income or if we did that together. So and it's just so I mean it can vary, but I guess those are my short term answers. Is you just will know if it's the right person, I think, and you just will know when the time is right if the stars align.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think there's like an exact right answer to this one. I think when the stars align is, and you guys agree, is the biggest thing I would say, like you touched on. And then, in my past experiences, it doesn't always work out. But sometimes it could. and most times it probably does. I would say the
Yeah.
biggest thing is to be willing to accept the real person when you guys live together. You know, they might be messy. They might leave the cap off the toothpaste. To me, that's no big deal. But some people that could be big deal. And I think the biggest thing I would try to say is like, don't be overcritical of anyone when you are moved in. Which I know is not the question you were asked, but I wanted to add that
Nope.
to it because I think it's very valuable life experience that I would add to that. Um, okay, so when do you think is a good time to have kids, in your opinion? And then go ahead and run with that one.
Sure. Yeah. So I believe that well, just as a subtopic too for a second, maybe too, is it's like so we met on a dating app too, right? So like versus my ex of 8 years, we met in person. So I guess that could maybe make a difference of a lot of things too. Um, but so in the dating app, it skips through a lot of time. Like in person, you could take your time, you could get their number, and then you can just talk casually. It'd be take your time. That's what I would encourage. You want to get to know that you want to be like that is true. But but in this case and scenario, it's worked out that like we have already kind of had the kid talk, and it's you okay? I
Yeah,
don't, I
no,
don't
I'm
know
good.
where you're
I'm good.
You're
Keep
good.
going,
Okay,
please.
make sure. No, but is
If I pass
like
out, you'll know.
yeah, okay.
You don't see my
Once
face
you're
on the screen, then you got a problem. I
yeah,
got a
there you go.
problem.
Yeah,
We got a problem. Yeah. But anyways,
yeah. It's all
sorry, sorry.
anyway. You're good. Um, but so I'd just say like once you're of course financially stable and or responsible,
Mm-hmm.
that's definitely a time you could have kids. Uh, if you both want to have kids, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
uh, both can have kids.
Mm-hmm.
I know there are some people that are sterile or uh and you don't know that I guess until you maybe try and then but of course be safe, be careful, be make sure like uh I mean that some people don't always it's nice to be um like I say, this is where you have to know the person because you don't want to accidentally extract anything that they may have. There are some but unfortunately one of my friends had that happen. He got something from someone because they didn't tell him, and
I think it's
they
like a
did.
law, by the way. But anyways,
I know, right?
let's stay on topic on this one. No, that's my bad.
Yeah, but anyway, sorry. Yeah, not to derive there for a second, but yeah, no, definitely. So it's definitely up to you and your significant other, and I would say that kids. I mean, maybe even because we could even maybe talk about marriage at some point too, or when to get married or something too. But as a thing,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah, that's a
I
great point.
give it about at least a year, if not more.
Yeah, I love what you said about the finances. I think that's huge. I
Yeah.
think about a year minimum. I think is probably smart. I'd say very smart. I would personally, in my own book, I would say you probably should live with that person before. I know that doesn't fit every religious spectrum, but I think if you live with that person before you know, hey, I can live with this person type deal. Because if you can't live with that person, then why would you want to have kids with them?
Yeah.
That's one thing I would say. But let's jump to a new question that I did not have previously written, but you made evident that we should touch on. When's a good time to get married? In your thoughts?
Sure, yeah. I think that so I sometimes think I'm a little skeptical or superstitious. But also sometimes my brain goes crazy and goes far out and thinks that I'm gonna get married tomorrow. But no, but no. But like I would say definitely. Well, in my ex of 8 years, it took me five, no, 7 out of the 9 years. On year seven, I proposed. So I really got to know, like, she, and that's the thing too. I really want to hit point, like, I love that you said that and agree, is that because through the first years, or through, once you get to know the person, you might find out later down the road that, yeah, no, wait, this person is kind of messy. I don't want my kids to be living in a mess. Or this person is a great parent because I've seen them with my nieces and nephews, or they act really good with kids, or so you just got to pick up those little things, the little habit you can nitpick or you can see, go through. Yeah, you find out once
You know,
who they really are. Yeah, because
very wise. Keep going. Keep going. The little things. I
yeah,
love what you're saying.
go, um is so um yeah, and I think you just have to really you have to get past the fact of the L word, the loving. You do have to have that chemical and feeling connection. You have to really be in your heart. Your mind has to be with it. Uh you I believe everybody can like change too. Because personally, honestly too, back in high school, I cheated on somebody and it made me left me it's terrible. It sucks. And both for me and them. And then but then like now it's, I've changed and I'm not gonna do that to my girlfriend either. But like you do have to like really take care of yourself and look into yourself and know if you are mentally prepared for it and physically prepared for it, because mentally wise, yeah, there are bad days, rough days, and arguments and fights and hard times, and they're going to be at 20%, and you're going to have to cover the 80%, which might be cleaning, cooking. If those are things you hate, you still got to kind of suck it up for a little bit. And you just got to be able to like really vibe with this person, connect, be on every level with them,
Mm.
and then I'd say that would be the time. But I would definitely give it about 2 years at a minimum. I'd say at
Yeah, I think
least.
I
You don't.
think I think it's about right. And obviously, from my perspective, I'm getting a little older, so I think I'd probably wait maybe a year and a half. But I think 2 years would be the realistically the best gauge, especially for a younger 20s, someone in their 20s, early
Yeah,
30s. I would concur with what you're saying 100%. Um, let's jump on to another topic.
sure.
One that I think you'll be great at talking about. How to argue in a relationship.
Sure, yeah. So just like love languages, I've learned this through therapy and everything too, online research and whatnot myself too. I can't like cite or quote per se, but this is you can take it from me is I've tried it and I suggest trying it yourself too. Is that just like love languages of touch and yada yada whatever, right? For quality time. The argument language is like, so you're fighting, you're yelling, you're screaming, you're back and forth. You could even be, I don't know, physical, which hopefully you're not. But hey, uh, but breathing is definitely a step number one. I mean, it calms you down, in through the nose, real long breath, hold it for a couple seconds, and exhale out the mouth. You you want your exhale to be longer than your inhale, and even then you're holding your breath, which I know that's kind of hard to do if you don't have, I guess, great lungs per se either or anything, or if your nose is or whatever. But try and do that. Another step that's definitely a good one is like if you're in an argument and fight or whatever, is give the other person space. Just I mean, don't be up in their face. Give them a good 6 foot COVID distance. You know,
Well said.
or a shopping cart. I don't know distance. However, yeah. Um, and then like even a third thing that kind of pairs with those is what, or the second one too of giving a space is this is kind of three or four. You can ask them, just be polite and talk and ask questions like, uh, "Hey, do you need a minute?" Because honestly, it's been proven and shown. Like I say, I can't quote it or cite it, but if you give yourself 20 minutes to calm down and do anything and everything else, if you just go away for 20 minutes and then come back to it, you'll instantly get it solved way quicker, done, over with. and it'll be so much because your brain is, oh, it's Mr. Chaz. I know that's one of the he's on Facebook, he's on TikTok. He teaches you about your emotional mental state, your cognitive mental state, and your survival state of brain. You have three different parts.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, when you're in an argument, you're in your emotional, so you can like go to name calling or whatever too. And that's all not where you want to be. You want to
Right.
be more in your cognitive thing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and so it takes you about 20 minutes, or if you exercise, or if you do something a little bit tiring or wearing out and exhausting, then you can, and that might also be a thing too. You can sometimes, I'm both. Sometimes I'm like, hey, I really want to get this done after 20 minutes. But if my partner too is like, hey, I need to sleep on it, you should respect that and it's okay too. Like, that's good too.
I think to add to what you're saying, and I'm trying to like
Mhm.
put this pieces together, and you're sparking my mind. Um,
Sure.
I'm thinking like I think a lot of the reasons I'm breaking this down from another perspective a little bit, but a lot of the
Sure.
reasons that people argue is because one person is feeling one way. They're say they're upset about that you're not doing the dishes, but they don't say that or something. They're upset with something
Right.
deeper,
Sure.
and then you're upset about something else that they're not doing or doing how they're treating you, and then it's like almost a demand list where it's like you're not fulfilling my demand, so why the fuck would I fill your demand? I think that's what leads to a lot of arguments. So I'm thinking, and this is all fresh ideas. Maybe the solution there is to try and fulfill that person's demand, uh, and then see if their demand changes. I think like I'm just thinking like in the whole thing. Also, active listening is huge. That distance thing you said is really smart. Be careful what you say to somebody because they won't forget it. Uh,
Mhm.
be mature. Be mature. I think is something we both should have just like led with.
Yeah.
Me included. Me included. I should have
Yeah.
started with that one. But it's a great point. Be mature. In an argument, maturity in an argument is sexy, but also can win the day for you. I think that would be the best take home I could give somebody is to be mature in that one.
Nailed it on the head there. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Thanks, brother. You got me totally thinking. This is great.
Yeah.
This is great. I appreciate you. And then
You
hopefully this will help a viewer, if not more.
absolutely sure. Yeah.
Okay, let's. You had a
So,
joke for us, real quick, by the way. Any jokes? You had one the other
oh,
day that was
sure.
pretty good.
Maybe sure. I got well, there's one that I told you guys yesterday. Uh, that I might spell it out for people too in case they don't get it. But three men walk into a bar and the fourth one duck.
Didn't. I know you had a better one. That was not it. I've heard
Well,
everyone's heard that one, whether it be one man or two men or three men. Everyone's heard that one.
well, I've got the skeleton one.
It was
I don't
it
know.
was another one
Trying to,
too, I think. Yeah, or was it the skeleton one?
it's the one that skeleton walks into a bar and he asks for a beer and a mop.
No, that one's been told. Everyone knows that too.
Yeah, okay,
No,
okay.
there
I
was another one.
trying to think of other quick ones because with the Fuchsia hour and everything too. I want to cut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. We're running low
Um.
on time. Forget the
Yeah.
joke. It was just a funny concept, funny thought. We were hanging out the other day and we came across a couple jokes and long story.
Yeah.
We do whatever we want on the show. So anyways, let's talk about I'll answer the Fuchsia Hour for you. Is that what you want to know?
Future. It's a Future hour. Yeah.
There is almost nothing going on in the music spectrum this week. There you have it.
Okay. Quick and
Let's
easy.
go to the
Let's
Sam Hour. What do you got? I know
uh,
there's something you wanted to talk about.
honestly, sadly, shoot, what was it? Oh, yeah. I guess I mean just a fun, happy, good going things that are going on. I guess is apparently my dad is getting married again, and
Congrats.
so I'm gonna have They're doing a celebration this later in September, and then also, like I say, probably plan on trying to be at the Sweetwater at 7 o'clock on the third Tuesday of this month to either play my trumpet or sing.
Yeah, let me know. Send me a message a couple days before.
Okay, for
That
sure.
sounds awesome.
Practicing some music on my trumpet, or I'm practicing singing. So I don't know which one. I don't know. It'll be a surprise for all of us.
Legit, legit.
um,
Love it.
and that's it.
That's awesome, Sam. Hey, great job today. Appreciate you for sparking my memory, and I appreciate all you for listening in. Y'all the best, man. Go ahead and shoot us some
Yep.
comments, like and subscribe. I know a lot of y'all been watching, so let me hear what you guys got to say about stuff. I don't think we're always right, and I think there's stuff that you can add to it. So if you feel that way, go ahead and add it. If you agree with what we said, because we are right a lot of the time, then go ahead and hey, comment on that too.
Amen.
Anything else you want to add?
I'm good.
All right.
We're good.
I'm okay.
We're okay.
He's
Yeah,
good and
I'm
I'm
okay.
okay. You have a
Yeah.
good one. I'm okay podcast. We are out.